was about, but I'm just gonna let you guys know that some of this stuff isn't just, oh, that's sort of creepy, like it's a little creepy. And I did think to myself, wow, a lot of this is like gory, not like, you know, too graphically gory, but like just a little bit. I'm just trying to warn you if that's something that you aren't great with, just to let you know. I'm also slightly worried, teeniest bit worried, that this is gonna get demonetized, but whatever, I don't care. I'll just, you know, it's $3, I'll get over it. So, fact number 1, see, we're already in it. So, a human head remains conscious for around 20 seconds after being decapitated. Also, chickens last longer, if you're wondering. And number two. When the movie trailer for The Exorcist was shown to the public in theaters, it was reportedly so scary that people ran out of the room. As a result, they decided to ban the version of the trailer through the video, though the video is now available to watch on YouTube. I think that's funny that they banned the trailer, but they still released the movie. Anyway, number three. A body decomposes 4 times faster in water than on land. Number four. In the Czech Republic, there is a church called the Sedlik Ossuary. I don't know if I said that right, probably not. Someone's gonna correct me, but whatever. That has decorations made entirely of human bones. This happened because there were too many people in the cemetery to bury everyone, and the church leaders claimed that if their bones became part of the church, it only made them closer to God. And the church leaders claimed that if their bones became part of the church, it would only make them closer to God. Number 5. About 153,000 people worldwide die every day. Not right now. That's because Corona. Sorry, that's not a funny joke. Number 6. In 2015, a young woman began to have headaches. They discovered that she had a brain tumor, and when the doctors removed it, they were shocked to see that it was a lump resembling skin that contained bone, teeth, and hair. But this was no parasitic twin. The mass was called a teratoma, or a monstrous tumor. When the woman was an embryo, some cell tissue fell off and ended up where it wasn't supposed to be, her brain. Then developed hair and teeth while the rest of her grew as normal. Disgusting. Number 7. When a person dies, their sense of hearing is the last to go. Number 8. You can't die of old age, only from disease brought on by old age. Number 9. Men who are hanged get a death erection, known as a rigor erectus. It's not funny, but it kind of. Number 10. Number 1-0. In ancient Rome, some people believed that if they drank flesh, warm blood from a fallen gladiator, they would absorb their power. They also believed that drinking blood cured epilepsy. Number 11. In some cases, bodies develop a corpse wax that can preserve the remains for years. Number 12. The pacu fish is native to South America, and it is quite creepy. If you look inside its mouth, you'll see it has eerily human teeth. I don't like that. Number 13. Forensic scientists can tell how long it has been since death by looking at the species of insects on the body. Number 14. In the 1600s, alchemists were hardcore into finding an eternal life, and they came up with some pretty disgusting theories and supposed elixirs along the way. One such alchemist, John French, used to prepare a brain tincture. If you can guess what that was made of, he then left the mixture to sit inside of a horse manure for 6 months until it became a liquid and he could drink it. The worst thing of all, French had plenty of other colleagues trying out similar medicine. That's disgusting. How did he just not die? Like, just right there after drinking it? vultures rather than burying or burning them. Number 17, more than 7,000 people die annually due to doctors' bad handwriting. Sorry, it's not funny. My stepdad is a retired doctor, and his handwriting is just so bad. Like, I can't read it, and I've known him for 22 years. That's all I'm saying. Number 18. Number 18. 4 of the actors in the 1982 horror movie Poltergeist. Yeah, Poltergeist. I'm so proud of myself that I can say that. Died not long after the film came out. Some of them violent and unexpected deaths. Because of this, people now believe that the film had a curse hanging over it. Even the child star of the film, Heather O'Rourke, died in 1988 at the age of 12 after a bowel obstruction released deadly toxins into her blood. That's sad. Number 19. In the 19th century and before, being literally buried alive was an ever-present worry, as medicine could sometimes mistake a comatose or otherwise unresponsive patient for a cadaver. Because of this, people developed safety coffins that would allow the buried person to alert those above ground that the corpse in the coffin was not, in fact, a corpse. I mean, I like that they had a backup plan. But anyway, number 20. Around 1904, a boy named Robert Eugene Otto, or Gene, owned a strange-looking doll of a boy who he named Robert. Robert the doll is said to be haunted, aware of what is going on around him, and even responsible for multiple violent mishaps. Robert's tale formed the basis of the film Child's Play. I feel like that's like The Boy, like the remake is The Boy. I've watched this movie and it sounds similar to this, and it was creepy, but then it turned out, I won't ruin it, but it really wasn't at all. Number 21. In the 1800s, people needed dentures just like they do today, but they didn't have access to our modern technologies. Instead, dentures at the time were actually made out of the teeth of deceased people, and usually it was soldiers. Number 22. In Philadelphia, the Mutter Museum is filled with fascinating and disgusting bits of human anatomy that have just been preserved. Mutations, tumors, and medical anomalies are all on full display. Just don't go in if you have a weak stomach. Yeah, I will not be attending this museum. Philly, I guess. You're gonna have to count me out on that one. Number 23. Back in the 1960s, the skeletons in the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disneyland were real. At the time, they thought that fake skeletons didn't look scary enough, so they contacted the UCLA medical department and bought loads of skeletons that were usually used in anatomy classrooms. As time went on, fake skeletons started to look more convincing. Disney claims that they gave the real skeletons proper burials. Number 24. In 1973, 2 men were in a small submarine 1,575 feet deep in the ocean. Suddenly, there was a malfunction and water began flooding in, causing the sub to sink. They only had enough oxygen left to survive for 3 days. It took so long for the rescue team to find them that by the time they extracted the crew, the men only had about 12 minutes of oxygen left. Number 25. Who likes rats? No one. Who likes even more rats? Well, you're not going to like a rat king. A rat king, then, which is even more nightmarish than it sounds. A rat king happens when multiple rats become congealed together in a tangle of tails, dirt, hair, and blood. I think that's the worst one so far. Number 26. There's a museum in Kentucky filled with vintage ventriloquist dummies. I'd rather go to the ventriloquist dummy museum than the just the mutation tumor gross museum in Philadelphia, so Kentucky wins that one. Number 27. In January of 2017, a 100-foot asteroid nicknamed AG-13 passed by our home planet. It was less than the distance of the moon and just missed hitting our planet. Scientists only saw that it was coming roughly 2 days before it could have hit Earth. Frick. Number 28. Madame Tussauds Wax Museum is famous around the world for this 165-pound, 3-foot-long book, while that's just a legend, the Devil's Bible does exist as a real text, and it appears to have been written completely by the hand of a single scribe. Dun dun dun. Number 30. Number 3030. After a stroke or some sort of brain trauma, some people can develop prosopagosa. It's prosopagnosia. Nausea, I think. Also known as facial agnosia. This is when someone loses the ability to recognize faces. Even if it's your best friend, you would no longer be able to distinguish a face from anything else. Many people suffering from this won't even recognize themselves when they look in a mirror. That's scary. Number 31 though. 31. In the Catholic religion, purgatory is an intermediate place where souls go that is neither heaven nor the hot place down below. In Rome, there is a small museum that claims to have documentation of hauntings from people whose souls are stuck in purgatory, generally manifesting as a burn mark on the pages of the Bible and other objects. Okay, number 32. Povaglia, Italy. Povaglia, Italy. I don't know. There's so many big words that I just don't know how to pronounce. It's considered to be the most haunted island in the world, as untold numbers of people dying of the plague were quarantined there in the 18th century. In the 20th century, the island was then used to hold a mental asylum and currently lies abandoned and undeveloped. Number 33. Bloodletting was an important part of any medieval doctor's belief system. A patient had two options: leeches or venection. With the leeches, a bloodworm would be administered on the pertinent body part, and the creature would, in theory, suck the illness out. It sounds a little nicer than the later option. The doctor would just slice open a vein with this phlegm and hope for the best. Oh my god. 34. Do you ever wonder what people did before the invention of assembly line cups and bowls? In ancient England, people used the tops of hollowed human skulls to drink and eat. I feel like that's not too shocking. Like, it's pretty obvious, because they would never really break. Number 35. Reportedly in the 1950s, an object fell from the sky near Philadelphia. Police officers checked out the scene and reported finding sticky, odorless ooze coming out from the strange item, which might have been purple according to reports. Nothing bad happened and the object apparently just dissolved, but it's still very creepy if it's true. This news story even inspired the horror movie The Blob. Number 36. Hundreds of years ago, when people died on the battlefield or elsewhere outside, their bodies often just lay there until they rotted away. As they decomposed, their skulls would start to grow a moss called Usnea, U-S-N-E-A. People believed that this moss contained the spiritual qualities of the fallen soldiers, and they would gather it up as medicine. Number 37. At Harvard University, there's a book bound in human skin. Number 38. Victorian England had a bunch of strange fads. For example, tattoos were very popular, especially with Victorian women. Bizarrely, postmodern photography was also postmortem photography was also all the rage. In these photographs, people would take a recently deceased family member and stage them, either in a family portrait or alone, as if the deceased was just sleeping or resting. Sadly, these people still look totally dead. I think we've all seen a photo like this. It's not cute. Not cute at all. Not cute at all. Number 39. Honestly, Victorian people were really weird. In addition to being obsessed with post-mortem photography of their dead loved ones, they also like to wear jewelry of those deceased family members and friends, often incorporating teeth, hair, and bones into syndrome. In one case, a woman was diagnosed with the eye condition glaucoma. Her life was very normal until a trip to the grocery store triggered her hallucinations. The shelves would begin to drip and turn into thick mud. She could pull an item off the shelf, but this hallucination of mud was too thick to put anything back on the shelf when she picked it up. These Charles Bonnet hallucinations can become so vivid that people can see animals or either entire landscapes that do not actually exist. Number 41. In ancient China, there was a process of making a mummified man, which was essentially mummifying someone with honey. In order to do this, an elderly person, ideally near death, would volunteer themselves to the process of being binge bathed in honey and given only honey to eat until their entire digestive system was honey. Then, when the volunteer died, they would be covered in honey for 100 years. After this century or so, the contents were turned into a candy that was said to heal broken bones. That really took a turn at the end. Did not expect them to turn the person into candy. But okay, let's move on. Number 42. The Black Death was serious business centuries ago, and there's a reason it became an epidemic. Yersinia pestis, the bacteria responsible for the Black Plague. I can't read today, and I truly apologize. I don't know what's wrong with me. Responsible for the Black Plague is unable to survive outside the body of its victims, but it has a secret weapon and can disable its host's immune system. With nothing to oppose it, it can multiply quickly and overrun a victim within hours. Thankfully, we have a much longer incubation period currently for our current epidemic. I guess we're in a pandemic though, aren't we? What's different? 43. No one knows how famed creepy writer Edgar Allan Poe died. At least those who did know are long since dead, and all firm records of his death have been lost. Poe was found on Baltimore streets in October of 1849. Oh, it's October 2nd when I'm filming this, and he died on October 3rd. I'm a little creeped out. Okay, at least it wasn't October 3rd when I filmed this. Oh my good lord. Okay. Yearly, he was wearing someone else's clothes. He was in pretty bad shape and died in hospital just 4 days later. He was never coherent enough to explain what had happened, and he kept shouting Reynolds the night before his death. There's nothing left from his medical records, including even his death certificate. Speculation about the cause of his death ranges anywhere from suicide, cholera, heart disease, epilepsy, and even murder. He was only 40 years old. I didn't know Edgar Allan Poe died at only 40. I guess I assumed that he lived his whole life being scary. I don't know. And number 44. Few people know it, but Wes Craven got the idea for A Nightmare on Elm Street from a real story published in the LA Times of a boy who suffered terrible nightmares and actually ended up dying in the middle of one. As Craven said, he told his parents he was afraid that if he slept, the thing chasing him would get him, so he tried to stay awake for days at a time. When he finally fell asleep, his parents thought this crisis was over. Then they heard screams in the middle of the night. By the time they got to him, he was dead. He died in the middle of a nightmare. Number 45. There's a 1 in 3 chance police will never identify your killer if you're murdered in the United States. There's a lot to unpack there. We're just not going to right now. 46. Thomas Hargrove, a homicide archivist, estimates that there are over 2,000 serial killers at large right now. Fun. 47. Sudden arrhythmic death syndrome is a condition where someone seemingly healthy dies suddenly with no apparent cause of death. Number 48. There are over 200 dead bodies on the top of Mount Everest because retrieving them is such a risk. Number 49. Horned toads can squirt blood out of their eyes. Number 50. Vampire moths feed on the blood of mammals, including humans. They can suck blood for up to 50 minutes. And I have 2 extra that I didn't realize I had on here, so I'm going to share them with you anyway. So, 52 random creepy facts. Number 51. If you die in your home and you have a house cat, your house cat is going to want to eat you. 52. just want to